Yeah, just like that. Just like that. I think what happens is because that way, if you have a question, then we can address, so and so, they have a question and they posted it, rather than if we're talking but I can't see you, then but I know you have a lot to say here. So that's why we want to see you. See what you say. See what you say.
For me?
Of course you, Miss Ferris. Of course you.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Robin, good morning. Good morning. Oh, afternoon. So glad you. Okay, let me make sure that everyone else.
In this parade, please wave your grades. A brave will fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. I said, in this parade, please wave your grades. A brave will fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. You make this parade a mere charade if you're marching just for fun. Our troops must feel your thanks for real before the marching is done. They know side by side you can pass their stride to the drum beat and the brass, but they're not impressed with you unless you can match their stride in class. This may not sound too diplomatic, but I cannot be more emphatic as I tell you, it's problematic when you do less than your best, especially when it's because you put your brilliance on pause for the mere peer applause it draws from a so-called friend doing less. Quit playing, I'm saying, you know that you are great, and we know it, so show it. Don't make our heroes wait. In this parade, please wave your grades at the brave who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them what you can do. For those of you who already do the things that make us proud, your nation in appreciation says thanks to you out loud. Your schoolmates should imitate the way you tap your potential. Let me try to convince them why their effort is essential. Our men and women in uniform, before, during, and after Desert Storm, always perform above the norm, anywhere and everywhere on the planet. They need to follow our heroes' lead, but they cannot lead if they cannot read. Allow me, please, to plant this seed. Don't take freedom for granted. I'm serious, I'm furious to see U.S. schools behind. Remove the clatter, it's just a matter of our making up our minds. In this parade, please wave your grades at the brave who fight for you. If you don't gain, they fight in vain. Show them what you can do. Show them what you can do. Please show them.
Yes, I can.
Good afternoon and welcome to Wave Your Grades on KUAW.org, the academic patriotism program that is dedicated to veterans and serious secondary scholars. I am your announcer, DeQuay Wilson. Our host, Carl Boyd, has had a loss to via an extended family member, and he is at a funeral today for that individual. So we want to offer our love and condolences to the Boyd family and their extended family. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and go into our show. We have Miss Valencia Broadus with the Smart Club, and she's got Miss Paris and Smanda. She's got several people with her, and I'm going to let her go ahead and take the reins at this moment to introduce us to the guests that she has brought with her.
Amen.
Miss
Thank you
Valencia,
all.
the floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, Kansas City. Good afternoon, Jackson County. Good afternoon, all across the country. Everybody who's watching Wave Your Grades. I know my career club team and some supporters that are on with us, parents, etc. Excited to not talk about this issue per se, but we are excited to be able to have voices of our young leaders that are going to help us to talk about this whole piece again on just violence in Kansas City. And I know, gun violence is a huge thing right now, but just crime in general, whether it's, property crimes or whether it is, of course, violence, people dying, the numbers right now in Kansas City, again, they're high, the murder rate. So, what I want us to do is to our young people, they're going to wake up and sit up and talk to us um, to kind of help us to understand some of the thoughts that they may be having, on these issues. So we have with us Miss Robin. How are you? Say hi to us
Hello, hi.
and tell us who you are, and I mean your school career. I mean, what are some of your career goals? Just tell us who are you? Why are you with us today?
My name is Robin Franklin. I am going to the 12th grade. A career goal that I really do want to strive and achieve is like either like track or pursue like art in my career. And the
Excellent.
reason,
And you can do both.
yes,
Yes, you can. I'm sorry. And I cut you off. I apologize.
it's okay. Um, Another one of the reasons why I'm here today is because I have what's name? Okay, so I've been on Miss V's radio talk show before, and it's actually really nice. And I like being able to be around people that are able to like talk about the same or different things, like basically the important stuff. And this is kind of like a spaces to where I can like do that at.
Amen. And we like that you want to join us. So thank you. Thank you. And we have Mr. Micah. You'll have to bring your camera so we can see you as you talk with us, okay? Please.
Mhm. Okay.
Hello, awesome young man. How you doing today?
I am good. How are y'all?
We are great. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. So I know we've had a good long week of activity in the career kitchen, and you are always amazing, helping us to make things happen. So if you want, please remind people who you are, what you've been up to this week, and what we might talk about today. Just share whatever you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll come back and forth.
Okay. My name is Micah. I am going to be a junior at De La Salle, and I work with Miss V at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, and we cook for the I think it's called the Freedom School Scholars,
Yes. How
and we
many
make
of
it
them?
67.
Yes, there are 67
Wow.
young people and more adults too. And we
Mm-hmm.
prepare the breakfast and the lunch for them. And this week, we also started doing the financial literacy competition. And so our career clubbers, our young leaders help us to facilitate that this Jeopardy competition that the scholars will be doing at the end. So appreciate they have to be there cooking and learning and everything so we can, feed folks, but also enhance their financial empowerment opportunities and stuff like that. Miss Paris, hello, how are you? Now smile, because you're still beautiful. Smile. Just talk to us, please, please.
Hi, my name is Miss Paris. I help the financial literacy piece for our Freedom School students, our college students, and some of our high school students at De La Salle. Um, I'm just here to help the process move how it moves. Yay.
Yay. And y'all, she's getting ready to go to a birthday party. So she just trying to, but you look beautiful. It's like you have a different hairstyle today. That's all. Okay.
Just
Just
natural.
share. You're amazing. And one of the things that I'm so excited with Miss Paris is that she is helping us to again facilitate this financial jeopardy competition for 67 young people. That's just at the Freedom School. So there's 67 families, right? But we also have families that are in the community. So I know right now we've got seven. So total, we've got like 70, 72 families that are going to be, well, I'll say scholars because some of the families may have two or three scholars. You know what I mean? So parents may have two or three kids. Um, but we're pretty excited and it's moving. We've got some of our financial empowerment coaches that have signed up. We have Mr. Ross, we have Mr. Alfred, we have Miss Samantha. She's a lady from KU that's helping us. We have lots and lots of people, and we're of course in this Paris, and we're moving it, and it's quite exciting, though. And that financial Jeopardy competition, like where they're going to compete and the community can come watch. It's going to be that last week in July of July 28th, the last week of Freedom School. So we will keep y'all posted. I promise. All right. Miss Manda, how are you today?
I am blessed and highly favored. How's everyone?
We are wonderful. We are wonderful. Excellent, excellent. So I know you're gonna turn your camera on. I got it. But tell us who you are. Tell us who you are.
I am Jamanda. I've been with the Smart for maybe about 15 years.
Yes, ma'am.
I would say a little bit of everything. I'm usually so, I do like posters and things of that nature. I help assist with legal things.
You're a
Yeah,
business owner.
I am a business owner. I currently sell accessories, lots of accessories. I do nails also.
Make it big
And
time for you. And she's in the healthcare field, so she works full
yes,
time and all that. And she's a mom too, and so working on all of us working on like credit and saving and all these things. And that was the reason I wanted us to kind of bring everyone in that we can to really talk about from our different perspectives. What do we really think about this issue? So I'm going to get us started by going back a little bit and talking about, just crime is high in Kansas City. But this isn't a new thing. Crime is high all over the country. In the summertime, I worry about it getting even worse, especially with our young people, because they're not like in school all day, for example. If people, are in school all day or somewhere all day, then they're less likely to kind of, just kind of be out and, not a lot to do and maybe can get in a little more, I don't use the word trouble, but a little more just antics. I'm gonna call it antics because often young people they're not trying to do trouble. They're just trying to have fun. They don't want to be bored. They want something to do, and they're hanging out with each other, doing what young people do. And sometimes the trouble can come near, and then problems can happen. So with summertime being here, I get really worried about it, especially for our young people, because we, Mr. Micah, you good? You're thinking, everybody's thinking, you're
I was messing with my hair.
you're good, you're good. And what we're going to talk about here in a little while regarding our career kitchen too, because we've just learned so much, over the past 8 weeks, but then these 2 weeks operating the kitchen, just a whole lot of different things that we got to make sure that we're doing all the time. And I know that they're doing the safety classes, they're training, getting certification, and he may talk about that later as well. But there's a lot happening to make sure that we are being the best we can in this kitchen. So, no, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So, summertime's here, and for our young leaders, especially when you think about whether you're already working or you're going through the process through FEC or some other entity to make sure that you're beginning to, get a way to do work and make money, why is having something to do, or whether it's sports or work or something, why is that important to decreasing crime, in your opinion, Miss Robin and Mr. Micah? What do you think? Why is that important? Miss Robin, give me your thought. And if you need me to rephrase the question, ask me to do that, and I will.
Oh, yes. Can you rephrase the question, please?
Absolutely. When young people have nothing to do in the summer, um, how does that impact crime?
Well, really, it can't impact crime, like make it rise up a little bit because when you have nothing to do in the house, you're gonna want to go outside and walk around for a little bit. And a lot of things that people do, it has no name. It can go for anybody. So you could even just be outside minding your business, walking around because you're bored from being inside the house, and something could happen.
Absolutely. It may not even be you doing it. You could just kind of, stuff happening. You could just be in the way as a bystander. And I know we
Yeah.
talk a lot about gun violence, but what about, there's been a lot of stories, I won't say here per se, but around the country, people are stealing those keys in those cars and stuff. And they had one situation I read about where a young man, his friend pulls up in a Kia, hey man, I got a car, da da da. And then he gets in the car and basically they end up crashing and they hurt somebody. And this boy going for a joyride with a friend who stole the Kia, because I guess stealing the Kias is a big thing right now for whatever reason. There's two cars, Kia is one of them, and because they're easier to steal. Well, that kid that just got in the car with a friend because he was bored and nothing else to do, he's about to definitely do some jail time because they injured somebody, you know. So again,
Mhm.
not didn't intend to go out to do something bad, but often if you ain't got nothing to do, it's like, oh well, yeah, let's do whatever, because that's that young energy and creativity that we have to do things with. So I want to make sure that I'm saying it's not just that we're out being bad with nothing to do. It
Mhm.
kind of comes both ways. You know what I mean, Miss Robin? You agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Micah, so based on what Miss Robin was saying and kind of how we kind of talk about that a little bit more about not having things to do can increase or create pathways to, bad things happening with young people, older people too. So when you think about your working and of course working out, working at the job and working out, how does that keep you focused so that you don't get into that other stuff that could come back to hurt you or people you care about?
Well, for me, it's just it gives me something to do, and when I started doing it over time, I realized that I enjoy doing it, and it takes determination too, because I started slacking, started slacking, but then when I start back up again, start working out again, I realized that this is this is what I love to do, and so and then it doesn't you can work out anywhere. So, and if you bored, I just say at least try it for that day and see how you like it, and it gives you something to do.
Absolutely. And the same with working, because I know now,
Mhm.
just like, okay, just working like a
Mhm.
job. Again, it's something you come in and we gotta force you to eat. You're like, no, I'm gonna get this done. You're really great at making those things happen. So excellent. Thank you. Miss Parrish, you have a thought.
All right, there we go. Maybe my phone will unmute. I also have a statement for that. And on both sides, the financial literacy piece as well as the violence, only because a lot of the students know I do push for you to stay busy, to keep it, be productive in that piece, but things, as Ms. Robin said, can happen. And I was a witness to some of that yesterday while being on my own lunch. When you may just be a few seconds off of some craziness. And so the violence is more there because people do have the free time and they're out and they're not as busy as what they probably would typically be when it's not summertime. So just keeping that in mind, and while you're keeping that in mind, it's like while you're making your money, while you're doing those things, you could also put yourself in a position to prep and not waste more money. Because I'm a quick person to be like, okay, well, I do construction. I'll just go buy something because it was a hot day yesterday. Let me just go buy something. But if I would have just made my lunch or something like that to save money and be mindful of that, I probably would have avoided a whole different traumatic incident, dealing with different violence that I endured yesterday. So, you know, people are outside, it's hot. People are irritated and aggravated when it's hot outside for no reason at all. But they don't want to be in the house because they're tired of being in the house. So it's like we just have to be mindful, keep our head on the swivel, and making sure we have these programs where we're intrigued or interested or helping people or letting people help us. However, it may work its way around. It's a great thing. So, yay.
Happen. No, thank you, thank you. Hello, Miss Ariana. How you doing today? Hi.
Hi.
So I want you, if you can, and yes, we are live and we're moving forward. If you can tell, so Kansas City, Jackson County, the world, because we're all over the world. So tell everybody just who you are and definitely your dreams for your life. We'll start there.
Uh, my name is Ariana. I'm 16. I go to De La Salle High School, and I want to go to college to study to write poetry and make my own book eventually.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes. And I thank you for being here. She also working with us in our career kitchen. And we were talking a little earlier with Mr. Micah regarding serving the 67 young people and the 15 adults and just how all that goes every day. And that last week we did begin the process of working on the Jeopardy competition questions with our young people, getting them ready for the end of summer competition. So, Miss Ariana, I haven't asked this question yet. So, with the Jeopardy competition, as we were working with the students to do that, did they seem interested at all? And what was your thought? Meaning the scholars that we were trying to work with,
I think the
level
older
two and level
kids,
three.
level 2 and level 3, they seem more interested, like in learning about the game. Seemed like they were having a lot of fun competing and stuff. And it was a friendly activity at the same time, and they're learning stuff as they're playing the game. So I think it
Absolutely.
was pretty cool.
I do too. They want to get up, they want to compete against each other. They wanted to know how to do this, but also they want to win money. And so they asked on today's Friday. So on Thursday, the students kept saying, so are you going to bring us money to win next week? I'm like, yeah, if you're going to study, I'm going to study. Because we all we want money. We want to win money. And it's okay. It's okay to pay for performance. It's okay to, if you're going to study hard and compete, that's what life is about anyway. And gives them something to kind of work towards, meaning even that younger age, so like us as well, if we're going to work, we're going to get paid, we know we might see people we like, and it's a fun atmosphere and it's good and it's positive, it makes you want to come back to that atmosphere. It also makes you kind of value, yourself. And I'm having this dialogue with you a little bit because when we go back to talking about crime prevention, if we had more jobs or job sites where a lot of young people could go and work, whether to work at a fun place doing good things, earning money. Of course, I think every young person, if they're working, they should earn some they should earn some money. I think that's important because y'all want to buy things, right? Our young leaders, y'all like to buy things. Absolutely. And volunteering is cool and everything, but it ain't just like earning money because you want to spend it. Like so 4th of July is coming up. So if you all had money, what would you buy for just the holiday doing stuff. No fireworks, no nothing. You don't buy none of that stuff.
Not an
Buy
outfit or anything.
buy
Outfit,
some
right?
food. Buy some food to grill.
He said food, like the food you want to buy. Okay. I think about holidays, and sometimes I know 4th of July isn't like it's not a holiday. Food and fireworks, yes, Miss Jamanda. And Miss Jamanda has a smaller person, so her smaller person may like the sparklers and the snakes and all of that. So depending on what you have going on, your needs and your wants are going to be different. Um, and Miss Jamanda, thank you for kind of mentioning that for a second, because one of the things that's been on the radio a lot on another radio station is they keep telling people, reminding everyone about, you can't do the fireworks in certain areas and stuff like that. But they also are saying, asking everybody to be safe. Like, don't point them at people. They're not guns. I mean, they're having this conversation, reminding people don't use your fireworks as weapons to hurt each other. And I think about, especially for little kids, if people are out there, I mean, fireworks are a big deal. I mean, money wise, it's a really a multi-million dollar industry. And people, they buy $300-400 worth at those stands, and they can go home and they just pop them and do whatever they do. I'm not really big on fireworks, but they do that a lot, and people have gotten killed, eyes out, all this stuff on 4th of July. And so for little people like Miss Jamanda's son, um, it's he wouldn't be the one doing it, but other people being careless or irresponsible with their fireworks, he did get hurt. So I said all that to say that at the end of the day, people aren't sometimes intending to do mischief or to do bad things or to hurt people. Sometimes it just happens. So takes us back to the other conversation now on, you know, with working, we talked about crime. Crime is up, working and being focused, all of that can help us to decrease crime a little bit. But for financial literacy specifically, do you think that whether their people are young or older, that having more money to cover and pay bills so they don't have to stress and stuff about life, could that also help people to um, be calmer and not lash out and stuff like that? Meaning younger and older. What do you guys think about that? Miss Robin, Miss Ariana, and Mr. Micah?
I feel like financial literacy, uh, it can, because I feel like it's very important. It is. And then a lot of people want money. So I feel like if you learn about financial literacy, you'll know how to, like, what to do with that money instead of just spending it.
Good. And then I'm going to, Miss Ariana, go ahead. I see you're off mute.
I think the financial literacy could help people like be calm and stuff, like you said. But I don't know. I think even if you did have all that money and financial literacy could help, it could be, I don't know, maybe overwhelming or something like that, and it could turn into anger, and it could cause a lot of backlash.
Yes. And no, thank you. And don't leave me, Miss Ariana. So is it, when you say that, I think about, so we're saying, yes, you guys, you got to make money, you got to get it, you got to save it to have all these things you want. But what if they don't have the education and the training and the mentorship to really know how to really even go get the jobs to make the money, or no one's pushing them to pursue those dreams? That could, makes me think about what you're saying. It's like we're saying, yes, be financially, literate, but why? Why is it important to me or to you or to you if we don't have enough resources and guidance to even get the money in the first place?
I think if we don't have enough resources, that's when it turns into anger and stuff, and people resort to violence to get the money that they need.
and breezy.
But for the people who already like have the education and could get it, it might be easier on them, which would make people who don't have the resources that some might have to like lash out, make bad decisions and stuff like that.
And want to take their stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, it is what it is, and I agree with you. And that's why a big part of financial literacy, it's about the money, but sorry, there's a book called Make It Rain, and it's something that Mr. Micah has read already. He knows this book, and Miss Irena will get you a copy, and Miss Robin a copy, and others. And I know Miss Amanda has it, and Miss Paris.
Let's see,
What this is really good. And this is a gentleman, he's a self-made millionaire. He came from places like we did and, didn't grow up with a lot of money, but through different lessons, he learned about how to get access and all of that to money and then do more with it. And one of the things he talks about in his Make It Rain book is that it's important, education is important, and not always college. We're saying that, for example, in order for us to do what we're doing in the kitchen, the education part there is more of, okay, learning how to cook, learning how to be a great employee, making sure we're learning, getting our certification. We're doing things that make us valuable enough that people will pay us. And then once we're there, in the book he talks about pretty much no matter who you are, one of your goals, which is another, I guess, a pillar of financial literacy, is always having financial goals. But the financial goal for education is more so just getting enough so that you can make sure you're getting good raises every year. But we have to have people to help us to do it. It's not something that you just know. I mean, I tell people a lot. I didn't know. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my law firm, all that kind of stuff. But I didn't really know about saving for retirement. So even though I could make good money, I'm just going out and buying things, and that's cool. But I never really understood about how to save for retirement. And I'm like super old, you know what I mean, compared to you guys. So you think there's things I don't know, so I can't share with my kids what I don't know. Now my daughter does, she knew a lot because of her companies and her friends and things that they did. But now that I'm now saving for my retirement, I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm less stressed. But saying that to say, when we go back to what you were saying, Miss Ariana, I agree, is how do we make sure that some people, they have it. They have the people, they have access, they're making it happen, they can make great money because of who they know or situations they may live in already. But for us, when we're coming from a place where we may not have all of that yet, or at least the understanding of how to get there, how do we make sure that we're saying, that's why I always ask you guys about your career goals, stuff like that. Because if we're not focusing now on, okay, where do you want to get? We can still work and have fun, but we still also have to very often really focus on what you guys want to do with your lives and be helping you every step of the way. Because then if we don't, and I really do believe, if adults around you aren't, if we're not helping you to reach those goals, then we are really a part of the problem. Our young people don't get where they want to get. And I really do believe that. So that's why we're always just, we're there, we're there to have fun and cook and all that. That's why we have a lot of those conversations of, okay, so how can I help you do this? And we will, and others too, will really help to make those stepping stones, because especially if you're going to be a writer and you are a poet already, so how do we help you to put your stuff together, get published, be seen more, so you can make more and more money, so that could be a real good stream of income for you, and learning how to do that. So because when you think about like property crimes, so let's go away from gun violence for a minute. Property crimes, where people are stealing each other's shoes or they're fighting to get your jacket. A lot of that is because people want what you have because they don't have it. Does that make them awful and bad? It's like, well, no, I mean, I want that too. And it's not that it's not bad, it's that it's bad to beat up people to take their stuff. So that meaning it's wrong. Let me say it that way. Does it mean that they're awful people? Is it awful people that, you want stuff to? That's not bad. It's you want it, but you may need more help in getting it. And so again, that whole crime thing. So financial literacy, it does help us from education, not just the money part, but it talks a lot about how do you take your education, whatever your training is, based on what you want to be. So we must start with what do you want to do for the rest of your life to make money, and make sure that what you want to do matches your financial living lifestyle. For example, if you want to be earning $80,000 a year so you can have a certain type of house, a certain type of car, and you'll raise kids and a certain type of clothing, then we need to be thinking about now, what does that lifestyle cost? So that you then be thinking about, okay, if this is what that lifestyle may cost, $3,000, $4,000 a month, then we start planning now to have a career, or your career, but in a way that you can earn the money that you want to earn so that you can have that lifestyle. That's when people definitely get upset, especially when we get older. It's like, okay, I've gone to school, I've done all the stuff, but now I've got student debt, I've got all these bills, and I can't even enjoy my life, enjoy what I want it to be. People become angry with that.
But our young people also need to be aware that they can't lose their drive to do what it is that they need to do to get to where they want to be, because oftentimes things can be overwhelming, and then you lose that drive to follow those steps because it seems so daunting. So we have to encourage our youth to not lose that drive, because those kids that are out there that are committing these crimes that you were just referencing, stealing the shoes and robbing people or what have you, oftentimes it's not that they don't have access, it's that they don't have the drive, they don't have the desire to get up and go to work every day, or to get up and do what it is that they need to do. And so we have to make sure that we encourage that in them as well.
Yes, yes, we agree with you. We agree with you wholeheartedly. And I apologize, we didn't make sure. So let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about what Miss DeQuay is mentioning in regards to that mentoring and individuals that will continue to push you every day. And how important is that for you guys? And Miss Amanda, I'd like you to definitely chime in on that for me first. Can you, Mr. Amanda? Are you there, Mr.
Yes, could you ask the question again? Sorry.
Absolutely. Mr. Quay was speaking about how we were saying sometimes young people, as they're doing things because they don't have access or can't, obtain it, that they have dreams and goals too. But those young people may also though need, the motivation to keep going and to keep reaching, helping them not to give up. And so I wanted you to do as we talk about mentoring, to kind of start us on a conversation regarding really the importance of what Mr. Quay said, but that for mentoring, what's probably a really great way that we have found to continue to push our young people to keep you on track so that you can reach those goals. I guess that's what I'm saying, maybe. And Mr. Michael, you may have a thought on that already too. And you too, Miss Ariana. And you too, Miss Robin.
I would say, for if I'm understanding it right, I would say in the mentor process, just keeping.
We lost her. That's okay. She'll come
She'll be
back.
back.
She'll come back. Yes. So one of the things that we do in our Smart Career Club is we help our young leaders to catch a dream and make it grow. And a big part of that growing process is like how we work when we're at the job working. We call it work-based mentoring. And the reason that it's we're working, we're making money, but the mentoring part is important as well, because we want to make sure that we're being there and helping to do that every step of the way. Not just for you though, but we want you to also be encouraging other people in your peer group. Like, hey, I'm doing this. Did you know you can do this? But that way, if you're getting information and motivation, and tools and information on how to do steps, we want you guys to share that and bring people along with you if they want to come. Sometimes people, they be like, I ain't trying to do all that. You can't make them. But the more that you are going and people see you out, and they see you happy to go to work, or they see you happy to, be at school, they're like, you enjoying that? Yeah, because my future depends on this. We have to say those, we got to believe them. We have to say them. And I think, again, we need the adults in the community to really stand up more to make sure that if Micah, you like working out, you want to do your business, we want to make sure that we're not just saying, great, Mr. Micah, go do it. We continue that we stay with you, show you how, give you information, help you with your credit score, help you with the business plan, all that stuff, so that you can really reach your dream. So if we don't, because it is hard, we don't want you to give up. You know what I mean? And the same with Miss Ariana. We more I keep hearing about you writing poetry. That's exciting. To she's like, I know. Because we're gonna be having you writing and doing it so that you can be seen and publishing more. The local papers, they like that. And so we can help you to keep doing that. And whether it's getting into a college, that will be great, give you scholarships, you won't have debt, we will help you to work on those things. And same with you as well, Ms. Robin. And I know Mr. Quay, because you're right. And that's why we were at a session with Mr. Nunley on last Monday, talking about caregivers and stuff like that. And he was saying that sometimes we do, including me and other people, sometimes we do talk about what our young people do that is not good. But definitely, we also make sure we're talking about the things that you guys do that is great, and how do we keep encouraging so that you don't stop? Because it's the negative stuff gets more press than the good stuff. And that's why I'm glad you guys are here, because you guys are doing amazing work in the career kitchen. And you are mentors, believe it or not. You, those other interns that are out there with the 67 kids, but even in the kitchen, we are really, we're also role models and mentors to all those little kids. Because especially when I always say smile and talk to them and all that type of stuff, because they like that energy and they're seeing you guys come and do stuff. Mr. Quay, you have a thought?
No, well, not really, but your
Please
role
go ahead.
models, whether you realize it or want to be or not, these smaller children are looking up to you as role models, whether you realize it or not. So that was what I was thinking as you were speaking.
Say that. And it's true. And that's what we're always saying. No matter what's happening around us, we still want to keep our composure, because it ain't always easy, is it, y'all? It's like some days it's a little crazy. But for the most part, we talk about it together. We encourage each other through, and we still laugh and smile. And I know Miss Tanisha's having a birthday prep weekend thing. So otherwise, because I told her to come on with us, but I know they're getting ready to have some fun, and she'll come back on another Saturday with us. So there's a couple of the questions, and I think I sent them to you guys, to our students. And I want to give an example of why this financial literacy stuff is really important. So what we do with our Jeopardy is each of our classes are level 2, level 3 in our community club. We have different questions and topics, and I'll read the topics, but we have different questions and topics that really tie into how things kind of really work to help the community. And so our topics on the ones that we have before us now that they have is the topics are the categories rather: ways to pay, taxes, budgeting, income, and then there's a surprise category. So one of the things I'm going to kind of just give this question. So if someone picks the topic of budgeting, for example, for $100, budgeting for $100, and then we say, putting money aside to buy something you want is called what? And of course, our answer is, what is saving? Well, let's go back to for a moment of why is saving real important, whether you're younger or you're older, in regards to basic needs like rent, water bill, electricity, car notes, car insurance. Why is saving something we have to do to make sure that we can cover those bills, and we're kind of going sometimes paycheck to paycheck? Any thoughts on that? saving? Why is saving important? What would your parents say why saving is important?
I think that saving is important because when you save, you have, okay, I guess if you can save for, like, if you want to get something, like a, like a system, a game system, you save, so then when you have enough for it, you can get it, and then overall, basically, I'll say it's important to start. I feel like it's important to start saving now, so then in the future, when you will have enough for like the stuff you need, especially because we about to we about to be adults, about to be on our own. So, and there's a lot of stuff
Absolutely.
that we need to do and need to have. So, yeah, that's
No,
why.
you're right. And need to plan for it. And I agree with
Hmm.
you because as you're like, you want cars soon, or you want mopeds or bikes, or, and I know about the shoes and everything, but we're talking about also though, and some of those things are the wants. We talked about needs and wants. And so let's think about as you're, let's say you're in college or you're a training program and you are making $2,000 a month. You're just making this money that's coming to you. And so by the time you pay your rent, you pay your car note, you pay your car insurance, you buy some food, and you buy clothes because you have to. What if you only have from your paycheck that month? If you only have, let's say you spent $1,900 out of your 2,000 that comes in, your income that comes in every month, income after taxes. So you basically you have like $100 left. So you can't really go out and do anything. You're gonna have enough for gas. Remember, I said car note and insurance. We have to get around, and have enough for gas, all those things. So if you've been able to before that begin to put money aside, maybe $50 a month or something, then when you run out of money because something unexpected happens, you at least begin to at least have a something you can pull from until your next paycheck. And I'm telling you, that is some real life stuff.
But
Or if your car breaks down,
exactly.
okay. Yes, Miss Jessie
If an
DeQuay.
emergency arises, it doesn't put you in so much of a financial constraint. So you're able to take care of that emergency right when it happens, and life can continue to move on seamlessly.
Absolutely. And sometimes our parents, they don't show us that, so you don't really see it happening. But we work and we have savings aside for the emergencies. And the emergency could be you need something. I mean, our child, you need something, an emergency. It could be a medical bill, it could be a medical copay, it could be it's your birthday. And even though normally we may not go out to wherever, but it's special days, Christmas, all of that, those are
School
times
activity.
when yes, that you need extra money that you normally isn't in your monthly budget. So the saving helps you to begin to practice putting money aside. And then eventually, as you learn that, then you can start investing a little bit, doing things. But we'll learn it a little bit at a time. And what they have found is that because in urban communities, and not just Black people though, urban communities where they could be, white, Black, Hispanic, whatever, but sometimes they don't make as much money in urban communities. But that if we in those communities, the more that we learn to manage our money, to not try to get everything we want, focus on needs heavier and learn to save and buy the special stuff, and um, then we can save more money for down payments for houses, definitely co-pays for insurance, buying cars with cash instead of credit. It we will learn more and more and more, you guys. And so the reason I know you're like, okay, some of this we haven't covered yet, but I put it out there because these are the things that our topics will help us to cover that we'll be really practicing the rest of the summer and our competition. I know, Michael, you probably remember all of this from when you guys did it, last year, but now we're actually learning it to teach it to 67 other families. You know what I mean? And the 67 families. And so that they can learn what we're learning too. Because the more that we can spread the information, it may not help everybody, but as long as we help a few, including ourselves, then it's going to help our communities to be better.
As our time with
You know
you
what I mean?
always does, this hour has gone by really quickly. We only have a few minutes left, so if there's anything out there pressing that you want to get out before the show comes to an end, this is your opportunity to do so.
Oh, okay. Well, we want you definitely to say, talk about KUAW really quick. I mean, that's a big deal.
And here's Mr. Walker, and he will tell us all about it.
Thank you for listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. You can pick us up live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and Twitter. You can also pick up our recordings later on those same formats. And if you want to listen to us 24 hours a day in the audio only side, go to Get Me Radio, the TuneIn Radio app, my online tuner, and to KUAW.org. Either of those, and you can listen to us 24 hours a day. And if you have a smart speaker, tell Google or Alexa to play KUAW Radio, and we'll be coming through for you. Thank you for listening to Kansas City's global community radio station, KUAW.
Excellent. And I'm going to share that we'll be coming back because we'll have two different competitions. We're going to have our Freedom School competition. It will be the last week in February. Lord, the last week in July. And so I think it's going to be that Tuesday or Wednesday, July 24th or 5th, something like that. But we'll come back and we'll tell you. But then we're going to be having our community Jeopardy competition, which will include our students and other people in the community and the winners of the Freedom School Jeopardy competition. We'll have a final runoff Jeopardy, and that's going to be on Wednesday, August the 12th. I think it's Wednesday, August 12th, but I think it's the Wednesday of that week in August, and we'll come back and tell you more. We're excited because the thing we've been trying to do is just spread more and more financial literacy and ways to get the information out there of how we can get stronger financially in our families. So we'll be coming back to tell you more. How's that sound, Mr. Micah and Miss Robin? You have any final thoughts you want to share?
I enjoyed this Zoom call.
Excellent,
Very informative, and I just like doing this. I like hearing people's opinions and talking about different topics. And this financial literacy topic.
Absolutely, because he's like a teaching that. Miss Robin, any final thoughts in this area? We'll bring you in really quick.
No, not really, but I did enjoy this talk, especially about saving and budgeting, because that is the truth, and not a lot of people be knowing that until it gets to them, and they're like, oh, what do I do? And it's like, I got a better insight on what to do as well.
Yes, we're gonna practice now. Miss Ariana, give us some final thoughts, please, and thank you for joining us today.
This was cool. Definitely want to do it again.
Yay! And you have to meet Mr. Boyd. So we'll come back as they allow us to come back maybe during the month or something to share how competition is going, how the practice is going. All right, I'm done.
I think I can speak for Carl. We'd love to have you and can't wait to see you back. But I'll take this opportunity to remind our 7th through 8th grade students that you can win a monetary award from our sponsoring organization. Yes, we say organization on purpose, with purpose, Students for Boots. Your essay title will be Heroes You Know You Did Not Know Were Heroes. Your content will identify a veteran at your school. That veteran can be absolutely anyone, a teacher, custodian, coach, absolutely anyone. If your essay is chosen and submitted by an adult who gives you permission to read it on this Waive Your Grades program, you will be awarded a monetary prize. Please send your entry or inquiry to stootsforboots@gmail.com. That is stootsforboots@gmail.com. Again, stootsforboots@gmail.com. And I would like to thank you all, our guests, our listeners, for joining us on your Stoots for Boots Waive Your Grades program. We come to you live every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time from the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center right here in Kansas City, Missouri. I am your announcer, DeQuay Wilson. Now, as Carl would do, I will close with his daily message to students. And it goes as such. Morning messages for American students in honor of our troops. To students across the USA, your Stoots for Boots message for this day, July 1st. When you return to school, thank a teacher as teachers and troops thank you. When you commit to studying to make us strong, our nations cannot outrank you. Again, your Stoots for Boot message for this day, July 1st. When you return to school, thank a teacher as teachers and troops thank you. When you commit to studying to make us strong, our nations cannot outrank you. I am DeQuay Wilson. Our guest has been Valencia Broadus and the Career Club. We'd like to thank you all for joining us, and we will see you all next week.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Quay. Thank you, Mr. Walker. All right.
It's
Bye-bye.
always a pleasure.
Amen.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.